"You're insane." "No, I'm in love." That's an actual line from the movie I watched for this week's Slashback Challenge. Hey guys, the Horror Man back on Slashback Saturday. This week's theme was Love is in the Scare, and I watched the 1997 slasher film, Cupid. Up until about a week ago, I had no idea this film even existed, so this was a first-time watch for me. I was extremely pleasantly surprised. Fittingly, I loved this movie. If you watched my most recent VHS update, this was the tape I had blurred. I got this with a bunch of other VHS tapes in a VHS group on Facebook. This was one of the movies I purchased from the seller that has never received a US DVD or Blu-ray release. It's only available on VHS. While that was a big reason I decided to buy it, it wasn't the main reason. That would be the cast. This stars Zach Galligan and Ashley Lawrence. As I'm sure you know, Zach Galligan is the star of the Gremlins films, and he also plays in Waxwork. And Ashley Lawrence is Kirsty Cotton herself, from 4 of the Hellraiser films. Zach Galligan plays a character named Eric Rhodes, who was born on Valentine's Day and is obsessed with Cupid and destiny. He believes there is one true love for everyone, and tries to live his life based on the myth of Cupid and Psyche. Eric lives in a mansion with his older sister Dana, since their parents died when they were younger. We soon find that not only did they die, but they were murdered. And their killer was never caught. We also learn that Eric and Dana had a past incestuous relationship, and Dana seems to still be obsessed with her younger brother. Meanwhile, Eric is obsessed with finding his one true love. And he acts fast. We witness him propose to a girl who he just met, and when she turns him down, he kills her. That's when Jennifer, played by Ashley Lawrence, comes into the picture. She has just moved to LA and has moved in with her sister. She is also going through a bad breakup when she meets Eric in a bookstore. For Eric, it's practically love at first sight. He is convinced once again that Jennifer is the one. But, like the myth of Cupid and Psyche, Eric believes that there will be temptresses and suitors sent to destroy them. So, you guessed it, one by one, Eric kills them first. He kills anyone who just might get in the way of his relationship with Jennifer. Dana is threatened by Eric's newfound love, and she has some homicidal tendencies of her own. I'll say it again, I loved this movie. I'm surprised it doesn't get more attention. As I said, I had never heard of this up until about a week ago. The fact that it's not on DVD or Blu-ray probably doesn't help, but I'm glad to have it now on VHS. I really like the cast. Zach Galligan is such a likable guy. I mean, even in this role, I found myself rooting for him. I mean, he was a straight-up psycho, but I still found myself rooting for him. Strange, I know. Ashley Lawrence looked great in this. Probably even better than she looked in the Hellraiser films. And so did Mary Crosby, who plays Dana. They looked really good. The setting is fantastic too. It's sort of a nice little area. It doesn't seem like a place where a lot of murders would take place. Sort of that Blue Velvet vibe. I couldn't help but notice it also has some striking similarities to Boxing Helena, one of my favorites. Now, Boxing Helena definitely is not a slasher film, but there were similarities. Between the mansion, the fact that Eric is psychotic, rich, but somewhat likable, and that he's obsessed with a statue. He has a Cupid statue, as opposed to a Venus de Milo statue in Boxing Helena. And of course, both films are about obsession. It also reminded me slightly of The People Under the Stairs, certain scenes in the mansion, as well as the incestuous relationship between Eric and Dana. I also want to mention there is a certain scene that takes place earlier in the film that has a nice payoff at the end. Cupid certainly isn't a movie that's readily available, but if you have the chance to see it, I'd highly recommend it. I loved it. I realized I didn't really show this one in my update, so here's the front, obviously, the side. It's from Live Entertainment, and there's the back. Really good movie. Cupid, my Love is in the Scare Slashback challenge pick. And now for the reveal of next week's theme. This week's slashers featured killers who were crazy in love. So next week, let's watch some slasher films featuring killers who are just plain crazy. There are a lot of slashers with escaped mental patients. Whether they escape from an institution, from a prison, or even if they escape death. Let's watch some escaped psycho slashers. The movie you watch should feature a killer who escaped an asylum, prison, or their own death to begin or continue their killing spree. It's a very common storyline for slasher films, giving you a lot of options for this one. So get watching and get reviewing Escaped Psycho Slashers, and be sure to upload your video on Slashback Saturday. I will also be back on Saturday with a new review and reveal of a new theme for the HORRORman's Slashback Challenge.